So I saw this news earlier today, like a couple hours ago, and I was like, "Oh, that looked fake. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna keep moving on with my day. Just moving on with my day. How nice." And then my friend Jason sent me this, and then more credible websites started to show off this news, and I'm like, "Oh, it's real." Oh wow! Oh golly gee! It's this is actually real. This is happening. We're doing this. We're doing it live. So I was gonna do a totally different video, but that will have to wait because I got to talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Silver Surfer has been cast. I say again, the Silver Surfer has been cast for Fantastic Four, and yeah, it's an interesting pick. Now, I think this also proves that Galactus is the big villain, right? Like we now know that Galactus is our big bad of the story. And yeah, on one hand, I'm of two minds of Galactus being the big villain of the story. I'm like on one hand, I'm like it's probably going to be Galactus done right. Like, it's probably going to be Galactus done right, although I imagine certain scumbags on the internet are going to say differently after this casting. We'll get to it in a minute. But, on the other hand, it's better than a fucking cloud, right? Like, I want to see Galactus that isn't a giant fucking cloud, right? And yeah, it's an interesting time we live in, because the Fantastic Four is my favorite superhero team. And now, this kind of brings me to two minds, and not for the reasons you think. So yes, the Silver Surfer is Julia Stans or Styles, I don't know, but it's a female actress playing Norrin Radd, but not Norrin Radd. Let me explain. So apparently in this new version, which is taken from a comic book, we'll get to that in a minute. It will be Silver Surfer as Shalla-Bal. Now, Shalla-Bal was the Silver Surfer on Earth X, that Alex Ross book that was meant to compete with, kind of coincide with like Alex Ross's other work, Justice, or Kingdom Come. Even it was supposed to be like Marvel's Kingdom Come. So so Shalla-Bal did become Silver Surfer with and Norrin Radd was there. It's a whole thing. So what do I think of this? What do I think of them basically changing, but still having like some comic connotation to Silver Surfer? Well, like I said, certain people on the internet will probably have a field day saying how wokeness has killed the Fantastic Four already. I can already imagine those videos being made as we speak. Like those videos are probably in development as we speak right now. I'm not even going to talk about that, but I imagine that you're going to see a wave of it, you know, because you got to ride that algorithm of hate and just disgusting hate. There's a lot of words I couldn't say, but we're not going to talk about that. Now, having said that, am I cool with the idea of Shalla-Bal like, again, this is the working theory right now that it's Shalla-Bal and not like a female Norrin Radd. So I'm gonna roll with that because a lot of the sources have said that it's Shalla-Bal being Silver Surfer. So what do I think of that? You know, I kind of feel like it's a little it's personally. Yes, I know it's from Earth X. I do know it's from Earth X, but I feel like at the same time, it's a little unnecessary. But on one hand, not for the reasons you think. Shalla-Bal is Silver Surfer. That's been done in another universe, and I imagine they'll bring her back and do that and make her own Herald of Galactus when we get closer to the movie. I guarantee you that will happen in the comics. But if you're gonna do a female Herald of Galactus, I'm not opposed to that at all. I'm not opposed to the idea of a female Herald of Galactus. He's had like 4. Like, you could have done Frankie Ray, Nova. You could have done Nova. You could have done Stardust. And there's like 3 others from the past. Stardust and Nova are the ones that really come to mind for everybody. So, yeah, Galactus does have a menagerie of heralds. Some of them, if not a lot of them, were female. So, and also, The one thing that Rise of Silver Surfer did do right was Silver Surfer in a way, but I was kind of hoping we'd, get Silver Surfer back. And I already know people are going to be like, oh, they'll make Galactus a woman or something. I'm like, I don't think we'll go that far, buddy. I do not think we'll get a female Galactus, nor do I think they'll make Galactus a joke. But, yeah. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, it feels with Shalla-Bal, and yes, again, I have to reiterate that this has a lot of comic connotations, but at the same time, I'm like, it feels like we could have done this story and with a different character who has more character. You see, Shalla-Bal has always been a character who's always been known as the love interest. And on one hand, I do get it. I do get the idea of, like, you want to make Shalla-Bal more than just, if this is again her, you want to make her more than just, the thing Norrin Radd wants the most in life. I get that. I really do. But at the same time, Norrin Radd is such a very great character and deep and philosophical character, whereas Bal was just kind of, known as the love interest, and there was never been a lot of female. And again, let me rephrase. There's never been a lot of character to her, no matter what run it is. No matter what run of Silver Surfer it is, it's always she is just the love interest, and that's it. And you can make the argument, well, Mary Jane is just the love interest. No, Mary Jane gets to do her own things. A lot of it has been shit on by writers. But that's a conversation for another time. But yeah, the idea of, like, seeing Norrin Radd being deep and philosophical, and, like, it's Stan Lee's favorite character. Norrin Radd was his favorite character. And I'm not saying, oh, this isn't what Stan Lee would want. I'd never say that. I'm just kind of saying, like, as a fan, as, like, a guy, like, it just feels weird. Like, it feels weird and really unnecessary, and really just, there's a part of me that's like, did y'all just do this to stir the pot? Because it feels like you did. Am I open to it? Yeah. I'm very open-minded to the idea of maybe they'll give this, and again, maybe if this is true, if this really is Shalla-Bal as the Silver Surfer, maybe this will actually kickstart her to actually have a character in the comics. That would not be a bad idea. I think the closest that came to it was, like, Jim Starlin a little bit, and Dan Slott's Silver Surfer run. Which, say what you want about Dan Slott's comics, a lot of them are garbage. But his Silver Surfer run was a banger. It was, if you haven't read Dan Slott's Silver Surfer, I advise you to go look for those books. It's very much clear that he wanted to write Doctor Who. I'll just leave it at that. But it's a really good series. It's right up there with, like, his She-Hulk run. Like, if you were to ask me, like, what, just a minor sidetrack here, if you were to ask me, like, what comics I would have you read from Dan Slott, it would probably be She-Hulk, Silver Surfer, and most of his Spider-Man run from up until after Spider Island. Don't read after that. Like, it's just downhill from there. And Superior Spider-Man, if you're interested. I've always been half and half on Superior Spider-Man myself. But if you were to read, like, most of his Spider-Man run, I'd say from the start all the way to Spider Island, and then stop after Spider Island. Anyway, so again, maybe this will do some good for the character. And keep in mind that in Earth X, Shalla-Bal wasn't just the Silver Surfer. She was with Norrin Radd. So there might be a chance that she might be, there might be two Heralds here. There might be, Norrin Radd, Silver Surfer, and Shalla-Bal. So it may be both of them are brought together by, Galactus saved them both and made them both his heralds. Because he has had two heralds at once. So that wouldn't be too far off from it. Like, that wouldn't be too far off. So again, we may still get Norrin Radd in here. I don't think that, I think that is a possibility. Again, if they want to go full Earth X with it, then, yeah. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of like, let's see where it goes. Like, let's see where this idea goes. I'm just kind of like, it feels confusing. Like, this is one of these few times where a Marvel casting's been like, I'm a little befuddled. First time for everything, I guess. But hey, I'm excited for Fantastic Four. It's been a movie I've wanted for a long time. I still have a lot of faith in this project. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and who knows? It's the same thing with I've always said about like with Joker in Dark Knight. Everyone shit on it until we saw it. So, there you go. Anyway, but how do you guys feel about all this? What do you guys think of female Silver Surfer? Do you guys hoping it'll be Shala Bal and we'll get Norrin Radd as well? Or what do you think? What do you think of this all in general? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.